The Roman Republic was never meant to be an Eastern power, but once they set foot in Greece, they never left. What began with Illyrian pirates escalated into a century of wars that would destroy Macedon, crush Greek independence, and leave Rome as master of the Mediterranean. This is the full story of how Rome conquered Greece. The year is 229 BC. Rome has just defeated Carthage in the First Punic War and now controls the seas. To the east lies Illyria, a region notorious for piracy. Under Queen Tuta, Illyrian raiders disrupted trade and murdered a Roman envoy. Rome's response was swift and brutal. A fleet of 200 ships crushed the Illyrians. By 228 BC, Rome had forced Illyria into submission, establishing its first foothold across the Adriatic. This was not yet empire, but it was the beginning. At the same time, Macedon was under a new king, Philip V. Brilliant, ambitious, and ruthless, Philip sought to restore Macedonian power. As Hannibal marched into Italy, Philip made a fateful choice. He allied with Carthage against Rome. The First Macedonian War followed, a messy struggle of raids and diplomacy. Though inconclusive, it marked Rome's entry into Greek affairs. By the end, the Greeks realized something shocking. Rome would not leave. In 200 BC, war erupted again. This time, Rome was determined. Philip's Macedonian phalanx, 16,000 men, armed with sarissas, faced off against the Roman legions. At Cynocephalae in 197 BC, the two greatest military systems of the ancient world collided. At first, Philip's phalanx pushed the Romans back, but rough terrain opened gaps in the pike wall. A Roman tribune led his men through, attacking from behind. The phalanx broke. Macedon was defeated. For the first time, the Roman legion proved superior to Alexander's legacy. Rome forced Philip to surrender his fleets and pay heavy tribute. But most important of all, Greece now looked to Rome as both liberator and overlord. Yet Rome's eastern story was far from over. In Asia Minor, Antiochus III of the Seleucid Empire, known as Antiochus the Great, dreamed of restoring Alexander's empire. In 192 BC, he crossed into Greece, welcomed as a liberator. With him was an exiled genius, Hannibal Barca, Rome's greatest enemy. The stage was set for an epic showdown. At Thermopylae in 191 BC, Antiochus attempted to repeat Leonidas's legendary stand, but Roman legions outflanked him just as the Persians once had. Antiochus fled back to Asia, his dreams shattered. The final blow came at Magnesia in 190 BC. There, 70,000 Romans and allies crushed 70,000 Seleucid troops, including war elephants and scythed chariots. Antiochus surrendered. The Seleucid Empire lost Asia Minor. Hannibal fled, and Rome became the unquestioned power in the east. But Macedon was not done. Philip V's son, Perseus, rebuilt the kingdom and rallied Greek allies. In 168 BC, at Pydna, the final confrontation came. The battlefield seemed perfect for the phalanx, and at first, Perseus's sarissas drove the Romans back, but uneven ground broke the formation. Roman legionaries slipped through the gaps, hacking into the phalanx at close range. What followed was slaughter. 20,000 Macedonians died. 11,000 were captured. Perseus fled, only to be dragged in chains through Rome. The Antigonid dynasty was over. Macedon was carved into 4 puppet republics. The age of Alexander's heirs was finished. Rome thought Greece was pacified, but in 150 BC, a pretender appeared. Andriscos, claiming to be the son of Perseus, declared himself King Philip VI. Shockingly, he won battles, restored Macedonian independence, and even defeated Roman forces. But in 148 BC, at Pydna, Once again, Rome crushed his rebellion. Macedon was now reduced to a Roman province. For the first time, Rome ruled land in Greece directly. Even then, Greek pride would not die. In 146 BC, the Achaean League rose against Rome. The Romans responded with overwhelming force. At the Battle of Corinth, the Greeks were utterly destroyed. The city itself, wealthy, proud, a jewel of Greece, was burned to the ground. Its men killed, its women and children enslaved. The smoke of Corinth signaled the end of Greek independence. By 146 BC, Greece was no longer free. Rome had dismantled Macedon, crushed revolts, and turned the Greek leagues into subjects. Yet, in a twist of fate, while Rome conquered Greece militarily, Greece conquered Rome culturally. Greek language, art, philosophy, and science flooded Rome, shaping Western civilization for millennia. The legions had triumphed over the phalanx, but the ideas of Greece would outlast even the Roman Empire. This is the story of how Rome conquered Greece, through Illyrian wars, epic battles, and brutal destruction. Yet, it was also the story of how Greece, in turn, conquered Rome's soul.